My name is Jezbel Wang, and I'm running for VP Internal for Feds. I've been a part of MassSoc since my first year, so I've been in the position of being on like a council or like a student government, but a smaller scale and like less responsibility. So for MassSoc, it targets math students, so it's not as big of a scale as Feds, but I have been on Feds Council as a math counselor, but I wasn't exposed to higher view of what goes on. So I think the two experience kind of brings everything together, and also the fact that the relationships I've built, like the resource I have, the friendships, it helps me like learn more and be able to tackle problems just because I have the resource or the knowledge. Problem of if you have some sort of survey out to check student how well it's like a change is received, it's tough if no one does the survey or if there's a low turnout for the survey where it doesn't see the entire big picture, because there are some parties that you're missing out, there's some parties that you're not actually reaching. So this is tough because it's like you have to work to be proactive, but students have to be proactive themselves in order for their views to come across to Feds. Mental health is like such a big issue that we do talk about it as a university, but I feel like we don't talk about it daily. We talk about it when like we're told that there's a week for it. The change we need to make is to foster that community of like being open to actually reach out or like know that you have resource out there and you know that you have support. This is from my experience in math, but I'm gonna assume that other groups face the same issues, especially I'm in computer science, so it's a male-dominated space, and so in class, women are rare, and like the ratio is just very off. But women in CS, women in math, they're targeting this type of issue, but still, even when we try our best to do so, there are still groups of people who thinks it's okay to target the people running it, even though there's no reason to. They don't see it. They don't see it the way certain groups of people do see it. And I realized that following Wick's example, it would require like code of conduct really clearly written so that students know what is not okay. If you don't have anything, I know there are school policies that help with like harassment, but sometimes you need it. If there are code of conduct like existing within each group and like specifically for that group or for that service, for that club, it will have more weight than a policy that is policy insert number. I've been talking to a lot of the students that I work with, and I realized that it's people think that leaders are the ones that are like the ones up high, like seeing everything. But I think that view is completely wrong. You can lead by example with your small group of friends. It does not have to be, oh, you're an exec for a society, you're a president. Like, you lead by example, you lead by impacting someone else's life. So it could be tiny impacts that you make. Sometimes universities, faculty, and staff don't understand that a lot of things are run by students, for students. And faculty and staff may be taking advantage of the services without knowing that they're run by students that have to tackle both academics, personal lives, and running something. Been involved for a long period of time. We kind of forget that there are new students and students that aren't very knowledgeable. So we have to just always keep an open mind that the students or staff or faculty that we talk to may be new to their job, and like we have to be very aware of that and be more proactive and friendly rather than assuming they know what's best and assuming they have all the resources. I think having more information passed down is always going to be a benefit rather than a disadvantage. More people that knows a set of information is always going to be better, and it's better long term as well, because that is how first years can in the future be very involved in any sort of organization or society.